everyone? I am Mecha42, your favorite YouTube harpy. Oh god, we have to talk about Star Trek Discovery. I don't want to talk about this show. This episode is called If Memory Serves. I could not keep that in my head for the life of me. I've talked about this, okay, sorry if I didn't do the live stream for the live watch on this. If you guys do want an actual live watch party, let me know in the comment section. Because of the whole Captain Marvel premiere and Midnight's Edge After Dark, the Trek logs over there. Also, go subscribe to Midnight's Edge After Dark if you like hearing me complain about Discovery. We do a lot more of that over there. I'm sorry I just didn't get around to doing it on Thursday, and then schedules and busy, and so let me know if you do want an actual live watch party for that. I can probably do it this weekend if you guys do want that. I don't know if I want to sit through this episode again, though. Also, somebody's penis is very small. If you heard that car out there, holy shit. Anyway, that's with the windows closed. Oh my god, anyway. This episode. Okay, so I'll give you the spoiler-free part. You've already seen the thumbnail. The spoiler-free part is this episode is boring. And anytime they kind of slow it down and do something interesting, I mean, I guess slow it down. Anytime that they have something interesting that's happening, they immediately ruin it by some crappy retcon or something immensely boring and dull. This episode is if it drags forever. Also, oh wow, I am noticing I have blue tongue here. You can probably see it. Don't eat blue raspberry before you record. Anyway, no, and everything is more interesting than watching Star Trek Discovery. Like, my own reflection is more interesting when I'm recording the video. They start a... Well, no, I'll get into the spoiler part. The spoiler-free part, this is probably a 3.5 out of 10. And you know, you guys probably know already, without spoiling anything, we see Spock in this episode. Ethan Peck's not doing a terrible Spock. He's interesting. He's not doing a terrible job. Is it Spock? No. The plot is still completely nonsensical and all over the place, and you still have Section 31 announcing to everybody where it is, and we have this unnecessary connection to TOS again, to just name drop. This is basically. And it was a completely irrelevant, pointless name drop. You know, you see the Telosians in the thumbnail, so that's not really a spoiler there. I'll get more into that in the spoiler section. It is kind of unnecessary of a name drop, even. It's so underutilized. You know, there's this giant B-plot that's like the soap opera part of the episode. It's just not good. I mean, had it been like the soap opera stuff that they're dealing with, that kind of was interesting. But it's not Star Trek. It's not Star Trek. It's basically like wandering into my mom's soap operas or something when I was a kid. I don't care. So yeah, maybe about a 3.5 out of 10 for the spoiler-free part. The other things I could say without giving spoilers away is Pike is a somewhat decent character when they let him be a character. Tilly wasn't super annoying in this episode. It had less Michael Burnham in it. At least it felt like it had a little less. She's still annoying as crap, but it did have less Michael Burnham. And Spock even told her talk down to her a little bit, which was nice. But no, this episode had... They reveal what the whole plot, the whole big secret that Michael Burnham and Spock had. And had it actually been that they had sex, it would have been far more interesting, and it probably would have at least gotten somebody to talk about this episode. It's not that. I'll get into what it is in the spoiler section, but it is literally something that only a 12-year-old cares about and would be upset by. And grown adult people would have moved on, would have really gotten over it, would have worked it out. There are so many plot holes and everything. I'll get into that in the spoiler section. So, yeah, it's not a good one. It's not a good one. It's not really that much better directed. It still has a lot of the seasick camera stuff. It still has we're starting off upside down and then we slowly come. Because seriously, you guys want to see this the whole time, right? The whole time I'm talking, you want to see that. No, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see. I don't want to do that to you because I actually like you guys and respect you. 3.5 out of 10. Now we'll get into full spoilers. Stop the video if you care about spoilers. Mike, this picks up where the last episode stopped, I guess. Michael Burnham steals Spock from Section 31, and they have to travel to Talos 4. They have to. Talos 4 is in the third quadrant of the Vernal Galaxy, blah, 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 blah. Be it hereby noted, and said following instructions be incorporated into Starfleet policy. No one will ever visit Talos 4. The following officers have visited Talos 4 and recommend that no human would ever visit it again. Right? So they're not supposed to go back. They're not even supposed to, no one's supposed to talk about it. Oh no, the Telosians send off signals to bring Michael Burnham in. They even send off signals to bring in Captain Pike. Here's a great picture from comicbook.com. Do they have it here? Oh no, they just go into the... Of course the comicbook.com doesn't have their thumbnail in their... The old Telosian, new Telosian, they don't even look like the same species. They have this weird forehead ridge here in the middle of their... They didn't have that. The Telosians didn't have that. They also don't do the weird gender voice thingama thing that they did over. It's so cringe. It's not good. Here, there's a little better picture of the Telosians here. They're not necessary. They're not needed. I mean, like Pike's ship isn't even supposed to be there. He's supposed to still be scanning the debris of the probe from the last episode that killed Saru's home planet without even so much as a whimper. Or oh god, it's such a clusterfuck. You know, they also, the other thing that I really, really hate about this episode is that they open up the episode just by playing clips of the cage. They're like, previously on Star Trek Discovery, and then they show you clips of the cage. I can actually watch the cage. I don't need to see bad clips of the cage squished in, and I shouldn't say bad clips. I shouldn't see good clips of the cage squished into a bad show. Because when they transition from real Pike to Anson Mount Pike, it is so weird. It's such an odd, cringy little thing. They don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. That just cements that this is a completely different thing. You can say it's the same people in the universe all you want. It's not. There's even a part of this where they have the same flowers that Spock had touched when he smiled on in the cage, you know, because basically it was a pilot that was unaired here. They have these little plants, and of course they look different. And Michael Burnham goes up and touches one. And it's just ridiculous, you know. They have other moments in this, and of course she smiles immediately when she touches the goddamn thing. They have this. Every little stupid thing is so ridiculous in this episode. They just try and force that Vina's in this because, you know, and she doesn't even look the same, like not even in the same costume with the same hair or anything. Oh, but Vina calls to Captain Pike and has to bring him in. There's even a weird retcon because of the 25% difference thing where they change Vulcan. I mean, I'm just assuming it's because of the 25% difference thing. Either that or they just don't give a fuck. But they change Vulcan from being the desert planet to basically a forest planet now. Oh, in the forest of... No. Spock, it's not the forest. It's a desert. So we find out... There's this whole huge double cross. They need to get Spock and Michael out of Talos 4, like the Pike and his ship before the Section 31 ship gets them, and basically they use the Telosians to like trick the Section 31 people into thinking that they beamed them out, and they didn't, and it's so stupid. The Telosians, right? Okay, so Spock had mind melded with the Red Angel, made him go to Talos 4. Turns out he ends up, of course, because we saw this coming, he didn't actually kill those people. He just, used the neck pitch on one and just knocked a couple out. The guards out. They actually didn't die. So Spock actually isn't a murderer, which we knew. I just kind of use the whole, oh, they made Spock into a murderer, just to kind of show how they've insulted the character in a lot of ways. But no, of course, he mind spells with Michael Burnham, and she sees that while she's in his mind, okay, no, you didn't actually kill these people, and she's gonna help him on all this shit. But the Telosians, in order for them to help communicate or something, for the Telosians to help, their payment is, oh, we want to know what happened between you and Spock in your past. Because apparently the psychic Telosians who can get inside of your head can't figure that out. Well, guess what? I couldn't figure it out either. It is so ridiculous of a plot. Their big secret about why Spock and Michael Burnham had this falling out. This is retarded. Like, it is not to poke fun at anybody. It is that muted level of writing, right? That is so watered down, so dumbed down. Oh, it is if a 12-year-old person wrote this. It is that ridiculous. And I would have never thought of it in a million years. You subverted my expectations. It would have been better had they been doing it. It really would have. Because you find out that Spock and Michael Burnham had this little, oh yeah, I'm human and I'll never be accepted and I hate you and I'm running away. Basically every single little kid sort of fight that gets resolved, like every little kid fight where I hate you, I'm running away. It happens on Believe It to Beaver. It happens in pretty much everything. Those sort of fight. And not only did they never speak again, and it caused this huge rift in their relationship, this little fight that happened when Spock must have been about 7 years old and Michael Burnham was about 12 was enough. Like, they didn't speak through her whole childhood. Amanda never noticed or did anything about it. She never noticed, hey, why aren't you two getting along? Why are you two basically avoiding each other? No, none of that. Not only that, I guess Michael Burnham hurt Spock's feelings and he was there crying. Even though, here's the kicker, even though the whole reason that Sarek brought her home was so that she could teach him empathy because he was a sociopath. He had no feelings. Guess what? He's also a Vulcan. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to repress them. Suppress them. They're supposed to suppress them. Oh my god, this is the most, like I said, it's so stupid. Only a 12-year-old would write this or care about this. Seriously, that I hate you, I'm running away thing, that's childish of them to not have forgiven. To not have the parents come in and stand in there and do something about it. So that's that plot, and of course Pike gets Michael Burnham and Spock out before Section 31 gets them and out of Talos 4. Totally unnecessary for them to even go to Talos 4. It's just a reference. Hey, remember Telosians? Remember when Spock touched that thing and he smiled? Oh, well, this is why. It's just a big fuck you to the fans. It really is. It's just a big fuck you to the old Trek people like us who are like, yes, but this is a pilot. We don't care that he smiled here. They even give a little dig, where this is the episode that we've seen in the trailer where Pike is like, is that a smile I see from you, Mr. Spock? Yes. Yes, it is. That's this episode, and it's so stupid and cringy, but to be honest, Ethan Peck isn't doing that bad of a job as Spock. Anson Mount is still probably the best thing in the show as Pike. I actually want to see a real Star Trek series with him. He's not bad. It would be interesting, when he's in charge, he's in charge. Michael tries to dig Spock a little bit. She tries to be snotty and snarky to him. She's like, oh, do you think that beard's a good idea? She tries to outlogic him. He puts her in her place a few times, which I really like. He does kind of give her the verbal smackdown, which is nice. If this whole series just turns out to be Ethan Peck being condescending to Mikey Burnham, I am all for that 1,000,000%. At least it'll be interesting and entertaining because she thinks she's the smartest thing in the show, and she's not. I guess I have to mention the B plot. The B plot is the whole Dr. Culber coming back from the dead, and he's weird and he's different and things aren't right in his head. And so Stamets is trying to say, okay, welcome back. Here's your favorite food. And of course, Dr. Culber flips out and he decides to leave. He wants to leave Stamets. And then of course he comes across Ash Tyler, the one who killed him basically when he was a Klingon. I know, super, super convoluted. And the guy's back to life now because death doesn't matter. And of course, you can just kill somebody and get forgiven if it, oh god, it's so stupid. He originally passed him in the hall earlier and had like a little moment. This is actually the kind of the not too terrible stuff in the episode, to be honest. This is probably the better part, the better plot. It was the B plot. So after Dr. Culber, like, leaves his boyfriend, leaves Stamets, he's like, yeah, I need to go figure out what the hell this is doing for me, because I'm different. I was dead. We can't just go back to the way things were. Kind of an interesting story. I got to admit, I'm kind of curious to see. They did kind of ruin the whole gay couple on the show that they were using for virtue signaling, but, whatever. So basically, Culber, after leaving Stamets, comes across Vok in the mess hall, and they basically have a fist fight. And to be fair, like, I think it's probably one of the better things, because sometimes you kind of need to fight it out a little bit, especially in that circumstance. So I think they did the right thing by letting him fight it out. And Vok, or Ash Tyler, the Klingon guy, he actually didn't. He restrained himself. He was basically, yeah, just beat the crap out of me. I know, I got it. I know, I killed you. I got it coming. So stupid. It's still stupid. It's stupid to describe, but it's not terrible. It's not as bad as they usually are. It's still about a 3.5 out of 10. So don't get me wrong. It's still pretty bad. But yeah, and Saru was like, yeah, no, we're gonna let him fight it out. And Saru even gets a little bit of a talking to from Pike about it. But, Pike's like, yeah, but we gotta just let everybody know we don't do this on the ship. One of the few things about this is there's sometimes when they do get Pike to be a captain, he's actually really, really good. I just wish the people involved in the show watch a military drama, watch something, do some research, call a Navy expert or something. You guys really need to pay attention to chain of command, people, like, what their duties are on the ship, what their jobs are, how, like, ship protocol. You really need to. I'm tired of nobody saying yes sir on this show, and I think you hear a little bit of it here and there from, like, the girl with the thing on her eye, Kayla whatever Detmer, and then the girl with the mohawk. So that's all they are, though. Is they're just the girl with this or the girl with that. Learn some military stuff. The other annoying thing about this episode is they're setting up this stupid robot that they have on the bridge to basically be taken over, be hacked. She walks around with, like, this farty dubstep sort of effect every time she either walks or moves her head. It's really fucking hilarious and distracting at the same time. It's so stupid, though. Like, the last episode we saw, she got hacked. We know it's coming. I mean, we're not. It's not good writing, you guys. It's really, really not good writing. The acting's getting better. I liked some of the Spock talking down to Michael Burnham stuff. That was actually pretty fun. Man, this show is just not good. So, yeah, I guess 3.5 out of 10 is my final score. Do you guys want me to do a live watch party of this episode, or we just want to say screw it and we'll hit it up next week? I am Mecha Random 42. You can send your angry letters or fan mail or whatever to Mecha Random 42, PO Box 1566, Loveland, Colorado 80539. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!